You won't believe this one, guys. You won't believe this one, guys. E-King Fight News. Eddie Hearn just lost a purse bid with the fight DILLIAN WHYTE versus Kubrat Pulev. DILLIAN WHYTE will not host the fight in the UK. E-King Fight News, more on the story. Oh my god, excuse me. Right now I got a bit of a cold right now, but let's get it. Eddie Hearn just lost a purse bid to basically an unknown. What happened was they did a purse bid at the IBF headquarters today for the Kubrat Pulev DILLIAN WHYTE fight, right? Eddie Hearn had the second highest bid of $831,000. Kalle Sauerland had the third highest bid of around $800K. And the winner of this purse bid, I don't even know off the top of my head. It truly is an unknown victory and an upset for Eddie Hearn, who missed out on a cash-in opportunity where he could bring over Kubrat Pulev to the UK and basically do something of what they did against Lucas Brown, host the fight in the O2 Arena and do some good numbers. I'm sure DILLIAN WHYTE did some half-decent numbers in the O2. I know he was selling tickets. I know this dude was hustling tickets. But at the end of the day, you know, fighters get their tickets and they gotta hustle them off or give them away, right? It's one way or the other. That's an extra source of income. But that's a whole nother topic because it's been a bad week for Eddie Hearn. He got put on blast by Adrian Bronner. He got his 3-fight offer completely blasted and rejected. Adrian Bronner did it online. And now look at this article, E-King Fight News. Eddie Hearn loses a purse bid. Wow. You want to talk about this guy with all this money, making $1 billion deal, and he can't even win a purse bid for his fighter. I mean, that's shade on DILLIAN WHYTE. Imagine if this was, a Kell Brook versus a situation with one of the champions. And Kell Brook fought himself in the mandatory position. I wonder what Eddie Hearn would bid if it went to purse bids. And that's just an example of how low on the totem pole Eddie Hearn finds DILLIAN WHYTE. But E-King Fight News, more on this. Alright, shout out to boxing scene first and foremost. Whyte Pulev, surprise bidder, beats Eddie Hearn, Sauerland for the rights. A surprise bidder beat out promoters of DILLIAN WHYTE and Kubrat Pulev on Thursday. That's today, to earn the right to promote the bout. Epic Sports Entertainment, that's who it was, made a real bid, an Al Heyman-esque bid, and outbidded both of these guys to the tune of $1.5 million. How about that? Epic Sports, and from what I'm hearing and what it says in here, they're planning on putting the fight out in Ukraine, in Kiev. So DILLIAN WHYTE, he's got to get his ass on a plane. Better get used to that time zone. And he better train his ass off for Kubrat Pulev. Because when he fights in Ukraine, I mean, Kubrat going to get it in, man. He ain't going to take it lightly. He literally ducked the Joshua fight. And now he might beat up on DILLIAN WHYTE's ass. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. What a turn of events. Again, to top out a terrible week for Eddie Hearn. Getting rejected by Adrian Bronner. Terrible PR. Supposed to be offering these guys, supposed to have $1 billion. These fucking fake ass media who showed up for that bullshit press conference except for Blue Blood Sports. Except for that brother right there. All the other fake-ass media that was flabbergasted, was so, not over the top. Some of them really understood, hey, this is Eddie Hearn. You got to take it with a pound of salt, But they still went along with the headlines, $1 billion deal. Bullshit, And now he can't even offer Adrian Bronner $10 million. He can offer Deontay Wilder $12 million for one fight. But he can't offer Adrian Bronner a 3-fight deal for over $10 million? Are you serious? And this is the guy that's supposed to bring back American boxing? It's absurd. Eddie Hearn, he's a great liar. Like, he's impeccable at lying to his peers, to his colleagues, to his fellow businessmen, to the media. And I'm sure he had to tell one hell of a lie to convince this Perform Group, who heads out this streaming platform, DAZN. He had to tell him some gang of shit to get them to sign a deal for at least $500 million. That's what's being reported. I hope DAZN has some termination clauses. I hope they do. Otherwise, they're going to get fucked up the ass. Because Eddie Hearn is going to come out here, sign the Gabe Rosados of the world, sign the Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s of the world, and not really challenge the mainstream in terms of Showtime, HBO. I'm telling you, he's not challenging them at all. He's got no... It's like Richard Schaefer said. Check out Richard Schaefer. He annihilated this dude when Radio Raheem, Radio Raheem, it's kind of like that Shirley Finkel, so when Radio Raheem interviewed your boy Richard Schaefer, and in fact, Richard Schaefer has done more for the American boxing scene than Eddie Hearn will ever do, and that was him in collaboration with Golden Boy Promotions. But knowing Richard Schaefer, he's a Swedish banker, and look at what he's done. Look at the advances he's made in the sport. He's sort of that shadowy guy that maybe played a role in all those Golden Boy fighters staying with Al Heyman. Maybe, right? It was all when Richard Schaefer was essentially the head of Golden Boy. These fighters who didn't have a deal, which is absolutely retarded. That Oscar has all these fighters without any kind of deal. He didn't make it a priority to sign them to a deal, But that's just what it is. Shout out to my dog right here, Chanel, man. Shout out to Chanel. All right, man. All right, so Eddie Hearn. Johnny! Shh. So Eddie Hearn loses a purse bid, gets outbid by damn near $700K by a virtual unknown, Epic Sports and Entertainment, a New York-based company that's new to boxing business, submitted a winning offer of $1.5 million during the purse bid at the IBF's headquarters in Springfield, New Jersey. As I mentioned before, Eddie Hearn bid. You know what's interesting? I find this very interesting. Eddie Hearn bid $831,111. Some weird ass bid. Team Sauerland bid $801,305. So how tight is that? How come they're so close in their bids? I mean, it's supposed to be a random bidding process, yet Eddie Hearn and Kalle Sauerland are neck and neck. I find that very strange, just to say the least. I also find it very strange that Eddie Hearn fucked this up and didn't expect any other... it's probably because both of these guys, they're not Epic Sports. This random that showed up, neither of these guys are his fighter. But will he stage this in the Ukraine? That's the question. So Eddie and Kalle, or Kale, I don't know how to fucking say his name, had negotiated a deal to stage the fight either in London or Pulev's native Bulgaria. They requested 1 week postponement last week of the IBF's first bid. So they've been in talks. You see how it all comes together. So Eddie Hearn's been talking to Sauerland, and they've been talking maybe about bids, maybe about kickbacks after I win, maybe about that, maybe. I wouldn't put it past Eddie Hearn to rig a purse bid, not one bit. I would not put it past Eddie Hearn. Absolutely not. Okay, so it wasn't clear as of Tuesday afternoon when the Pulev-Whyte fight would take place or where Epic Sports and Entertainment would bring it. Epic Sports and Entertainment must submit signed contracts from Pulev and Whyte to the IBF by June 8th to move forward with the fight. According to IBF's rule, the fight must also take place within 90 days. 37-year-old Pulev is a number 2 ranked contender in the IBF's rankings. Whyte's number 4. As a result, Pulev will make in excess of $1 million. Pull out Pulev. You're getting paid. And Dillian Whyte's going to have to take 25% of that, which isn't chump change at all. $375K for Dillian Whyte. You know, it's interesting. It's very interesting that Eddie Hearn just couldn't. It's so interesting. Now Dillian Whyte's making $375K to fight a high-risk fight against a technically skilled guy in Kubrat Pulev. Someone that has a great jab, good boxing fundamentals, and unfortunately he's been very inactive in recent memory. The Pulev-Whyte winner will become the mandatory for Anthony Joshua's IBF title. Pulev was supposed to challenge Joshua in Cardiff. He withdrew. Okay, so I guess it's just a rumor that the fight might be in Ukraine. I'm not too sure about that, but I will report on it as soon as that information comes to light. E-King Fight News, man. Subscribe if you haven't already. And it just is what it is, man.